Hello, my name is Jim Seitz, and I'd like to talk to you about the Teamsters and their promises about stopping outsourcing. A common Teamster campaign promise was to stop outsourcing at United Airlines. After the Teamsters took over in 2008, outsourcing actually increased at United Airlines. In fact, the Teamsters allowed the company to furlough nearly 1,000 of our fellow mechanics at United Airlines. The UAL mechanics contract had strict provisions to limit outsourcing to only 20%. We had won this right in 1994. In 2005, our mechanics even improved on that language and provided for an independent auditor, Moss Adams, to conduct an annual audit at the cost to the company of $75,000 a year. The Teamsters failed to enforce this contract provision. In fact, over the past 5 years, they failed to conduct a single audit on outsourcing while our mechanics were being furloughed. The Teamsters appointed leadership terminated that 5-year contract we had with Moss Adams. Our mechanics signed that agreement and our membership lost it without a vote of the membership. They gave the $75,000 back to the company and allowed outsourcing to continue unchecked by not enforcing our collective bargaining agreement. The Teamsters refused to enforce our contract and stop outsourcing. The first furlough notice came in October of 2008. Right here. The Teamsters Airline Division appointed leaders David Bourne and Clacy Griswold said in this notice, quote, "If UAL outsources maintenance in violation of the collective bargaining agreement, we will immediately and very aggressively move to stop and remedy it." They never enforced our contract and they never conducted a single audit, as was required by the UAL mechanics agreement. Here is the contract that they terminated and they failed to enforce. Here is the IAM language, written over 20 years ago and deleted by the Teamsters in our first contract. Stopping outsourcing was a campaign promise. When the UAL mechanics' jobs were on the line, the Teamsters failed miserably. Another broken Teamster campaign promise. You know, the Teamsters also promised to stop blended work on the property and vendors working on the property in LAX and across the system. From 2005 till today, the number of vendors working in LAX on our cabin mods nearly doubled under Teamster representation. Here are the promises they made when we signed our TA. They said there would be no more blended work and a TA that establishes the company will not contract out work. Notice that they promised to stop contracting out work and to stop blending. Neither statement was true in the TA. You'll see a lot of campaign promises and a lot of literature that floats around during their campaign. Don't believe the hype. Here's a magazine they put out to our membership, and inside of it they state that the membership dropped. Where were the 11,000 mechanics, they state? In 1999 they said that United Airlines had 16,000 mechanics, and in 2000 they only had 4,848. That's a clear lie. If you look at the employment policy, or the employment population by history, in January of 2000, we had 15,630 mechanics on the property at United Airlines. And in December of 2000, we still had 15,632. Okay? So this literature that they put out on the floor at United Airlines was a lie.